I'm here with Abdul and Steve. We're outside Old Trafford. United 1, Chelsea 1. Talk to me.
Really good in the first half on it, by the goal for them. But so many times this season we've seen us be really good in the first half, not capitalise, come out second half and do nothing. And
I think there was a changer to maybe, a failure to change it around here today.
I don't know if we needed to change it around. I think the goal took the wind out of our sails, and because we're so low on confidence and we don't really have any leaders, there's no one to be like, forget that, like, let's have it. You know, we've created chances in the first half, and you know, we look great, didn't we? Lukaku looked great. The link-up play from him and Marcus, those little one-touches and round the corners and stuff that he was doing, there was none of that in the second half. I didn't think the subs were good. You bring on McTominay for Mata, and you bring on Sanchez for Rashford, who might have picked up or not. You're like,
he's got a shoulder injury.
Is it? Well, we need to score goals. You didn't bring any goals on. McTominay's not goals. Sanchez isn't goals at the moment, is he? You're like, where was the goals to bring on? Obviously, he was forced with Bay. I thought he looked good. I thought the difference in him to Smalling was vast. Like, you can pass it to him and he'll pass it you back. Fucking imagine that. Like a centre half that can pass a football. Fucking hell. And that made a massive difference. And then I thought the midfield coming back in, Matic, Herrera, Pogba. I think the last time them lot played together was when we beat Watford. So like, we're not playing that base enough.
I thought Herrera's inclusion was good today, and I thought it gave Pogba a little bit more to get into that danger area.
Probably man of the match, Herrera. I thought he was mint. That first half especially, I was like, just give the guy a new contract right now. No matter what it takes, keep his shorts on, just take him straight into the boardroom in his boots and just be like, right, what are we talking about here, man?
Get the table on the pitch like Brian Robson.
Yeah, do it. Get it done. Should have done it at half time, actually, because he's a guy that gets it. He understands it, doesn't he? He plays like a fan, whether he's a United fan or not. And I don't even know who he supports, but he plays like a fan. He plays how we want to see people play football. Yeah, when you're losing, there's hustle about him. When
he's also a very good footballer, and he helped us progress up the field quite well. And I found when Mata and Herrera and Pogba and I think Luke Shaw popped over on the left, most of our good stuff came over there.
Yeah, and early in the game, him on the right-hand side, he was doing a little bit of covering for Hazard, who did jack shit again against us because he was on the pitch. And he offered us a bit of option, a bit of balance when him or Marcus or even Lukaku was pulling out onto that right-hand side. It looked like we had a bit of balance about us, which is what we've lacked all year. It's just frustrating, isn't it, now? Because that somehow, with how shit we've been, we were still in the fight for top four. But we've got fuck all chance.
We won here today. It was kind of in our hands if we made up a few goals.
Well, Chelsea have still got Europa League on the go. They've got to play, I think it's Leicester and Watford. That's two tough games, really, after Europa League.
But if they get a point, it's done for them.
Well, it is now. But if we'd have beat them here today, I think they drop points. It's frustrating, mate, because we've had so many opportunities over the last few weeks. We started, when Ollie came, if we'd have flipped it round, and we'd have started off when Ollie came and we'd had a lot of inconsistent results and then hit that big form patch that we started with, everyone had been feeling on top of the world now. But because he came in, 11 points off it, the truth is we're a couple of points off it now? He's made up all of that ground. But it don't feel like he's made up anything because some of the performances have been up, they've been down. In the derby, we probably deserve more than we got in the derby, in the grand scheme of things. We probably deserve more than we got today. But if you're not putting the ball in the back of the net, you don't get the points.
Bang on. And if you got a David De Gea who's seemingly putting the ball in our net more often than not this season, what's going on with Dave, man?
Man, when you're a goalkeeper, you make a mistake, you know that in football. That's it, it's the back of the net. He's the last man there, so I don't know, is it a mentality thing? Is he speaking to other clubs and that's having an effect on him? We've sort of seen it at the new camp. The Spanish fans got on his back and it probably played on his mind a bit.
But he's been very poor, like, you know, away from Spanish crowds and away from Old Trafford. He's been pretty poor all season. We kind of see now that there was some seasons where he got us in the top four, and now it's David De Gea's mistakes.
Seasons where he's probably got us out of relegation battle, to be honest. He's been brilliant for us. He's probably been our best player over the years.
Should he be dropped though? Let's be real.
Last week I said that he shouldn't, but I've got to change my mind, man, because I was worried that he'd have a knock on his confidence. But we got Romero, who's a you'd want him to have a good game, and that would sort of bounce back from that, because you know the quality he has. It's not just any other keeper. He's the best keeper in the world. Not this season, but last season he would have been the best keeper in the world. So you'd expect him to bounce back, but it's carried on for.
He has to be held accountable. Yeah, and do you think he should possibly be dropped next game?
Yeah, I think Sergio Romero comes in. If you got a second goalkeeper who's that good, you just got to bring him in because you have got the options. the other problem in that team today was, forget the tactics, forget, you know, the quality that you got on the pitch, the desire. In the second half, and it shows, the mentality really shows on the pitch. Once we conceded that goal, we weren't the same. Just like Steve said, the touches weren't the same, and you can see who really wants it. When Scott McTominay come on that pitch in the end, and I wasn't one of his biggest fans, but he had to run into 5 Chelsea players, hold the ball up, turn around, and I was looking at it like, who's coming over to him? Where's the quality? Who wants it? No one.
There's a lot of people hiding out there today and hiding from the ball,
Yeah,
rather drop behind.
You really see that on the pitch.
I want to say Lukaku's doing that an awful lot, but again with him, Lukaku, it's kind of like complete transformation in his ability.
Do you know what? I have Sky on just all day at work, and they just show random games all over the gaff, don't they? And they shown something the other day of Lukaku, and you're like, mate, it was 4 stone ago. He had a neck on him and everything, and you're like, shit. And you're watching some of the goals that he scores, and you go, he ain't scored any of them goals for us. The way they played suited his style of play a lot more.
There was a point today as well where he picked the ball out in the first half. He picked the ball out wide to Rashford. Rashford made a run. The ball went in. It wasn't a great ball, as usual. And then I looked up just to see where Rum was, and he was like 30 yards out the back, like breathing heavily. And I'm thinking, it's 30 minutes gone. Like, are we serious? This is our number 9. Do you think that's a big issue as well, that our number 9 has been a Romelu Lukaku who's been madly out of form and allowing Mata to drift into central position?
I think we underestimate the importance of a really good pre-season. And I know it sounds like making excuses at this deep in a season, but I think it matters. I think if you look at teams like the quality of Burnley, they didn't even get anywhere in the Europa League, but because they had no pre-season, they've been dog shit all season. And basically most of our big performers had no pre-season, or we rushed them back from when they weren't ready to be playing, and we've seen people come back from injuries and just not hit the same sort of form. I think there's been a lot of poor decision making on the pitch, but there's been equally as much in terms of preparation and that off the pitch as well. And I worry, man, because I look at that pre-season, and you know that all our sponsors pay out the arse for all our pre-season commitments. People in China, Singapore, Australia for that pre-season tour, they're going to have invested loads in and around what's going on that tour. And if United end up in the Europa League, or we end up in the Europa League qualifiers, what are they going to do? Because the club, most clubs will go, all right, start the tour. This is obviously what we've got to do because we are allegedly a football club first. But United won't. We'll try and do both, and we'll fuck both up. That's what we're going to do. I worry for that.
It's going to be a long summer. Top 4 done?
I think top 4's done. When you the point I wanted to make as well is that work ethic, man. Look at the rest of the top 4. Arsenal, at one point, I think because the Europa League's had the knock-on effect, and I think that's really showing off, because forget the quality, again, the energy on the pitch and missing pre-season, like Steve said, and going straight in from the World Cups had the knock-on effect, and I think that's rubbed off on us all season, and I think that's it. We lost top 4 today, man.
Cheers, guys.